The history of the English language really started with the arrival of three Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. These tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, crossed the North Sea from what today is Denmark and northern Germany. The invading Germanic tribes spoke similar languages, which in Britain developed into what we now call Old English. Old English did not sound or look like English today. Native English speakers now would have great difficulty understanding Old English. Nevertheless, about half of the most commonly used words in modern English have Old English roots. The words be, strong, and water, for example, derive from Old English. Old English was spoken until around 1100. In 1066, William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, invaded and conquered England. The new conquerors brought with them a kind of French which became the language of the royal court of the ruling and the business classes. For a period there was a kind of linguistic class division where the lower classes spoke English and the upper classes spoke French. In the 14th century, English became dominant in Britain again, but with many French words added. This language is called Middle English. It was the language of the great poet Chaucer, but it would still be difficult for native English speakers to understand today. Towards the end of Middle English, a sudden and distinct change in pronunciation started with vowels being pronounced shorter and shorter. From the 16th century, the British had contact with many people from around the world, and the renaissance of classical learning meant that many new words and phrases entered the language. The invention of printing also meant that there was now a common language in print. Books became cheaper and more people learned to read. Printing also brought standardization to English. Spelling and grammar became fixed, and the dialects of London, where most publishing houses were, became the standard. And in 1604, the first English dictionary was published. And the main difference between early modern English and late modern English is vocabulary. Late modern English has many more words, arising from two principal factors. Firstly, the Industrial Revolution and technology created a need for new words. Secondly, the British Empire its height covered 1/4 of the Earth's surface, and the English language adopted foreign words from many countries and varieties of English. From around 1600, the English colonization of North America resulted in the creation of a distinct American variety of English. Some English pronunciations and words froze when they reached America. In some ways, American English is more like the English of Shakespeare than modern British English is. Today, American English is particularly and influential due to the USA's dominance of cinema, television, popular music, trade, and technology, but there are many other varieties of English around the world, including, for example, Australian English, New Zealand English, Canadian English, South African English, Indian English, and Caribbean English.